walk right up there and go and check the Bombos tablet, and we are off.
And a good find from Andy, getting a power glove to start things off. And of
Buane
course,
deciding to start in the Dark Sanctuary instead.
Yeah. So here's our map check. We have pendants at Skullwoods, green pendant specifically there, and Thieves Town. We have a 5-6 at Swamp. The rest were all blue crystals.
Andy already having some trouble in the swamp area here, trying to get some bombs and taking a death from the flying bomber guy.
Yeah. And that is not a good pull tree item either. It's only singular rupees, so the grind's not going to be really good. And we have a sword up on Bumper Cave. That is another change, though. That entrance is not Bumper Cave. That is actually the old man. That is our way to get up Death Mountain here in the Dark World. As a result, Bumper Cave is now in the Light World, and we need the mirror on top of the cape in order to get that sword. And
so there's add more to that checklist of required items. We do need that cape to get those that sword. And Stumpy holding a 3-pack of bombs for Andy as Buane enters Skull Woods.
Now that pack of bombs is super important. That's gonna open up Hype Cave and get Andy some nice starting items here.
We can only hope. It also will allow him, if he's conservative with his bomb use, to get access to the brewery in the Village of Outcasts.
That too. Only 5 rupees to start us off here. We only get a map on the other side. Another 50. Another 5. The hook shot! Another 20 rupees. Hook shot is huge. It doesn't get to have its stunning properties, but it's still a good mobility item around the Dark World. And it also gives you a way to get around to... Actually, no, it doesn't do much in the Dark World, does it?
It is a required item, though, as we do need it to get through some of the dungeons and to kill Argus. So that is a good find, a good progression item there for Andy. And Buane taking a death after collecting 2 bombs in Skull Woods.
Yeah, this is very common here. He's gonna respawn, which resets the drops under these pots, so he can grind magic and bombs. It's a very common tactic I see in inverted openings.
And Andy heading into the Village of Outcasts. We'll be able to see what's in the C-shaped house first, and it's the Cane of Samaria! More progression for Andy.
More importantly, that's a weapon to fight blind with, so blind is now in logic in terms of the opening for expert. Which can be good, can be bad, if you're not comfortable with it. And something else to mention here, folks, is that even though blind is a pendant dungeon, this is all dungeons for a reason, so if you haven't seen it before, in addition to collecting all 7 crystals and defeating Aga 2, we need to get all the pendants and defeat Aga 1 as well, and we just found the cape in the brewery chest. Pretty okay find.
Andy having all the luck right now. Now, if you do decide to go to play with Ganon, before clearing all the dungeons, Aga 1, Aga 2, and the other 10, he will mock you and tell you that you can't kill him, and will become invincible after Phase 3. Buane picking up his Power Glove in Link's house, and probably going south, going south to Hype Cave, and pick up his hookshot. Now, I think we're going to see, after Andy gets out of Thieves Town here, and shortly after, we're going to see Buane do it as well. We're going to go and see the archery game to farm up some rupees, because we really do need a bunch of them.
Well, maybe not the archery game. The high pull and the tree pull was 20 rupees, so Buane's got a little bit of a money advantage now.
And that is how the last round of brackets, Buane did another expert, so he was in retro, and that is the advantage he ended up taking, was he had a huge rupee advantage very early on against his opponent.
Yeah. Money is extremely tight here in inverted, of course.
Vanilla Big Key location in Thieves Town. As Buane goes to visit Stumpy, pick up some more bombs.
So, the ideal routing for this seed is to end at Turtle Rock, Hera, and then do Ganon's Aga Tower, Ganon's Tower, Ganon.
Here we have Buane in the arrow game, in the archery game, to farm up some rupees here.
Yep, aim for that second curtain. Everything should line up for at least for the first few passes to give you the perfect reward every single time. And you're getting a little bit knocked around by the Gibos in Palace of Darkness.
Buane going for the digging game. We're going to see, is it 1 through 30? We're going to see how many digs it takes to get the item hidden here. Hopefully it's something good. A bottle is above the pose, the hint in Thieves Town, so now we know where one of our 4 bottles are. The big prize is 20 rupees out of the digging game. Let's see.
And that actually reminded me. Forgot to mention something regarding inverted or expert difficulty. Like in hard, fairies, the powder only gives you a heart, and you cannot capture fairies with the net. I forgot about that.
So a lot of the safety have been disabled here, or at least nerfed into oblivion.
Yeah, pretty much rely on your wits. There's a lamp for Andy. So that's actually access to Death Mountain.
Yep, he can go and get the old man and logic. Now, Andy and Buane are both very experienced runners and can do most of those dark rooms without the lamp helping them. Especially the old man, and probably also Eastern Palace.
Yeah, Hookshot Cave is also available to them as well, if they can get past the Lionels.
That's true. Getting past those Lionels can be pretty tricky. Especially since they do so much damage. You might see them drop a bomb at their own feet and take the damage from that, and use those few invincibility frames to clip past those Lionels just to get away from them, and still gain access to Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave. Well,
the Lionel's shot only does 2 hearts, whereas contact damage does a lot more. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they took the shot, and then use the, oh, there's our Moon Pearl!
Andy showing off where the bunny beam was hidden in the prison underneath Thieves Town. Now, he will not be able to full clear this. He won't be able to get everything.
No.
Since he does not have the hammer. But we do have that small key, so that means there is something, be it a dungeon item or a regular item, inside that big chest. Again, he's looking for some hearts. Not going to find him in that room.
There's one right there. Gonna hope to kill one of these stout folks to get a heart.
He's gonna brave it. Canis Samaria strats versus Blind. Buane inside Thieves Town, trying to catch up.
Yeah, if Andy is very careful with his block placement, she'll be able to get a lot of hits in.
He's running low on magic, and one more hit will spell his doom. And there we have it. Fireballs will always deal 1 heart of damage, and the blind heads will deal 2.
Yeah. Ganon, of course, being the most dangerous enemy in the game. Unless we find all of our health refills, and good luck finding that, because that's a total of 21 different chests you have to check. Ganon can one-shot us no matter what with his contact damage. He does 8 hearts of contact damage, and we only have a maximum of 9 HP in inverted, or in expert.
Andy deciding to abandon the Buane fight, or the blind fight, and go for Skull Woods, where Buane has already been. As Buane makes his way up into Thieves Town to pick up his lamp from the first floor. I'm sorry, I was looking at Buane's screen while talking.
It happens sometimes. I've gotten bosses mixed up. I'm not too strange. Words. I'm no stranger to mixing up my names here.
I'm gonna give the Beatles the runaround.
And the runaway.
As Buane fills up his magic meter, it's gonna help him in the blind fight with that Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, this is actually playing into Buane's routing here early on, because you saw that he grinded bombs and magic at Skull Woods. Andy went another way. And you can see right now, Buane is much better off with the Samaria blind fight.
The only thing Buane's missing that Andy has is that Moon Pearl, which is in the brewery, Abominable Hut in the Village of Outcasts, which won't take him but a moment to grab on his way out.
No.
Oh, it wasn't there. It was somewhere else. I'm sorry.
It was in the Maiden's chest here in Thieves Town.
Oh, it was the Maiden's chest. Wow, I am... Okay. While I trip over myself with my memory, Andy taking a death in Skull Woods gonna bounce out of there. I think that death was intentional. Going into the statue room there.
So yeah, looks like the play here is indeed going to be eventually go up to Death Mountain. And Buane is being extremely careful to dodge these attacks.
Taking his bunny beam and turning into Dan. Andy, he's going to go north and check Bumper Cave Ledge and find that it is indeed a sword, as he probably is going up to Death Mountain himself. Yeah, that's where he's going.
Yeah. I mentioned this a few minutes ago, but I'll say it again. This is not the entrance to Bumper Cave. This is the entrance to the Old Man Cave. We've changed things around so that you can get up to Death Mountain in the Dark World.
Yeah, you got to have that mirror to get that sword. And we're going to see Cane strats with Buane on the blind fight.
Excellent first round.
Excellent second round. Andy now on Death Mountain. Now the old man, he will not abandon you here. He will have to be brought back to the light world and put in front of his cave.
Oh, Buane getting tagged by Blind's laser.
His laser eyes will get you every time. And Buane also abandoning Thieves Town until he has a few more hearts. So where all of the portals to go to the Dark World normally are found, you will find them in the Dark World to take you to the Light World, like right here as we're about to see, with a simple palette swap going from blue to red.
Yeah, but you gotta get rid of the old man here, because I don't think you can allow us to take him all the way over to Toshot Cave. And why would you? The old man is scripted so you can't run.
Just some explosives. Just some explosives from the old man here. As Andy goes back and climbs Death Mountain, being careful to avoid those falling cabbages.
So, to alleviate any confusion here in chat, when Inverted is picked in the tournament, and this is how it's been for the rest of it, you cannot pick a variation like Retro or Randomizer.
Key Sanity's out too, Chaos fans. Inverted makes it hard enough. 20 rupees inside Spectacle Rock, but I'm pretty sure Andy wanted that hint tile. Some cash is in Gary's lunchbox.
Yeah, no need to open up the purple chest today.
I'm surprised Andy didn't do the bomb jump.
It is one of the more tight ones, and he only has 2 hearts.
He's got to be careful.
Plus, with the Moon Pearl, he's going to come out here and go right. And we just had a map check there. I saw, I think, a red crystal up in Hera.
The Pendant of Power, the red pendant, is in Eastern Palace.
Actually, I think the red pendant's the Pendant of Wisdom. They got the colors mixed up in this game.
Perhaps. I could have sworn that the Pendant of Power was found on Moldorm. Many years ago when I played this vanilla. As Andy enters Paradox Cave. See what wonderful treasures await us in here.
Yeah, this is the true Hype Cave in my opinion. Or the new Hype Cave.
The book!
And that's a huge find.
Andy
can now walk...
desert.
Yeah, Andy can access desert. And has a small... and could full clear. But doesn't have a weapon to ideally fight Flammo's with.
Nice 8-drop of bombs off that mini Moldor. There's the
Titan's
Titan's
Mitt. Okay, Titan's Mitts are not that important in Inverted.
And the Ether Medallion. That is potentially very important, as we will need to open up both Misery Mire and Turtle Rock.
Yeah. Having a 1 in 3 chance to open those up is nice. But the Titan's Mitts, like I said, folks, they are not important here. They're actually not 100% required for any of the regression in the seed. The only thing they open up that is hard locked by the glove, by the Titan's Mitts, is King's Tomb. That's it. That's the only item check that the Titan's Mitts are hard required for.
What about Hammer Pegs and
Mirror from the Light World?
True. Can Mirror from the Light World. And there we have Buane using the cape. You saw a fast magic drain to get past those Lionels. As Buane goes for Super Bunny Cave. Andy making the, what I have heard called the Walk of Shame through Spiral Cave without the boots.
Yeah. It happens more often than not. The boots are usually here.
Buane finding rupees and a piece of heart, and Andy finding one of those 3 shields that are in our item pool, granting him the Fighter's Shield in Spiral Cave.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Fighter Shield's not really that helpful.
To answer chat,
and this is also
is a regular blue crystal, and Tower of Hera is our red crystal.
Yeah, and that actually reminded me of something else here that I forgot about in the expert as well. You cannot buy shields. No one ever buys shields, but you just can't straight up buy them if you want another shield.
Now, Buane did a quick check on the medallion required for Turtle Rock, but I did not catch it. It moved a little too fast for me to see what was there. But it looks like Andy's going to head that way. Buane finding the Bloomerang, the best boomerang, and the hammer inside Hookshot Cave. And the mirror!
Great finds all around!
Looks like Buane was doing some celebration there. Bombos, apparently on Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I was about to say that. So the boomerang is not really important for Buane to pick up. It's lost its main function of stunning, so really all it is just a way to hit crystal switches. Which we could have done with bombs if we absolutely needed to.
Andy on Buane's heels going through Dark Death Mountain and Super Bunny Cave. Both players picking up the full magic refill found in Super Bunny Cave, which is a good play to make since we can't guarantee if we'll pick up any item drops from those enemies. And even then, the magic decanters, 10 arrows on top of Spectacle Rock. And Andy doing his check to see Bombos on top of Turtle Rock. Not specifically fully required. And ooh, Buane taking a death from the red Tektite there.
Yeah. And you about to pick up the hammer and the mirror. So they pretty much have their way of the world right now. Nothing can really lock them except for boots locks locations like, well, King's Tomb. That's the only, like I said earlier, that is the only location that Titan's Mitts are 100% required for. Everything else you can get around normally.
Without those boots, they also can't get what's in the library or what's beneath the bonk rocks outside of the Light Sanctuary.
And Andy not doing Hera. I can at least understand this play.
Might be easier to route Hera in when you do Turtle Rock.
Yeah, Andy is not going to the dungeon.
Oh, there is a red crystal in Desert Palace. I do apologize, chat.
Yeah.
Red crystal in Desert Palace, blue crystal in Tower of Hera. I misremembered the map.
I misread the map. So yeah, my apologies to that as well. But yeah,
Buane
Andy's
in
going
Paradox.
for... Andy's going for all of the items that are at his disposal here now that he has full access to the light world.
Only
So
finding 5 rupees in the dam, though.
Kind of tripping over each other here, but yeah. He's just looking for item that's here, so it makes sense why he didn't go to Hera. There's only like 2 items. And he doesn't really have a sword either to handle any sort of crystal switch puzzle.
Buane picking up his mitts out of Paradox Cave.
Now we're checking Mini Molder Cave.
Now, while the hookshot can't stun, it still does deal damage to the enemies it damages, like the mini Moldorms, which kills it in a shot. 5 rupees, 3 bombs, 300 more rupees from the man, a single rupee, and the sword.
We have 2 swords.
We know where 2 are.
Yep, that's our 2. We have this one, and we can go to or Bumper Cave a little bit later and get the other one.
50 rupees atop the floating island. Buane being really loved by the Tektites tonight.
I'm not sure there's a Tektite or a Dead Rock, but yeah, getting just body there as well. Another knockout. And he's choosing to abandon the Death Mountain. Makes sense to me. You have the entirety of Light World, including Kakariko Village at this point. Lots and lots of items at your disposal to find.
Andy checking Ice Rod Cave, being very careful to avoid those crabs. They deal 2 hearts of damage, making them one of the most deadly enemies inside the Light World, and we find a piece of heart.
And yes, folks, as a reminder, there are 4 swords out there. We found one already. We know where a second one is. But that's all we care about, because we only go up to Master Sword. Once we hit Master Sword, the remaining swords are turned into 20 rupees.
Buane opting to use the hammer to get through some of these enemies here in the Light World. As it looks like he's going for Kakariko. Probably going to stop off Cave 45. This is one of the changes we were talking about. How the cliff here has been completely gone away. You'll find that also with Checkerboard Cave up in the desert.
Yep. We stood at the ground some places. We added ladders elsewhere. There, and we literally broke down one of the walls surrounding ice pallets.
Yep.
So now we can just swim. So now we can just swim there.
Buane checking the race game as Andy goes to see what the uncle has for us. Apparently nothing big was on the race game.
20 rupees there.
The Cane of Burna.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not helpful. Not going to pick it up. The Red Cave is an invincibility item. And Kane doesn't do pretty much anything at all for them. Except be a fighter sword's attack around them.
It looks like Buane's going to rescue Jeremiah the Bullfrog.
Yep, this is something they can do.
Just a little too far left as Andy heads into the escape sequence.
Yeah, good few items here available for Andy. And it's going to be really fast, too, because he can mirror and just basically full clear unless the small key's not here in the front.
Now we've seen some stuff already. Wolf, what do you think our troublesome item will be, and where do you think we'll finally find it?
Well, there's a safe bet here, obviously. And I'm not going to say the Ice Sword because that's too easy, folks. I'm going to say it's the Silver Arrows. It's not required by any means, but do you really want to do 24 spin attacks in a Ganon? That eats up a lot of time, and with these two being such high skills, they might go for it. But if one finds the Silver Arrows and the other one doesn't, that is a huge time difference in the Ganon fight.
Absolutely, with the danger of having to deal with those 24. Oof, that's rough. Now, we did see some practice of that a little earlier before the match started. But it's still not something I would even remotely relish doing.
Oh, Hammerface having the Quake Medallion. Alright, so we have 2 or 3.
Now, we won't be getting Gary's lunchbox. We know it only has cash in it.
That's correct.
Now, personally, I think the troublesome item is going to be the bow. And I think it's going to be found in Ice Palace. That's my usual bet.
Well, I'd be okay with it being an Ice Palace, actually. If anything, once they find, for our runners, once they find a fire source, be it bombos or fire rod, to get through the dungeon, I'd probably make a beeline for that dungeon because it has a total of 3 potential hints. So it's got not much in the way of total items. And hey, we're actually on a 4 heart container. How about that?
After some
but also
terrorism, yes.
But yeah, it has 3 potential items, which one of them can be the bow. But it also has 3 potential hints. So it is one of the most valuable dungeons with the hint system in play.
Andy did pick up his mushroom from the dark cross in the escape sequence while Buane's dropping down into the well. If Andy wants to pick up the rest of those items out of the escape sequence, he's going to need to drop down from the graveyard. We do know that one of those will be the small key, and Buane finds the only major heart container inside
oh my goodness!
the game. And the boots! Kakariko
Boots
well.
Have been found. So this actually works into Buane's routing. He went from south to north here, so he'll be able to check King's Tomb as well as the graveyard ledge, get the bottle, and then just go into the back of escape.
As Andy does just that, going into the graveyard ledge, which we know we have the hint. Your bottle is above the pose.
Yeah. Now both runners will have to double back to check the sick kit item.
Not much found in Blind's hideout.
Yeah, nothing major.
Andy deciding to go to the bottom of Escape, the back of Escape, as opposed to checking King's Tomb first.
No boots.
Oh, he does no boots. No boots.
The only one with the boots is Buane.
And there was that small key and just 55 rupees found inside. Nice drop from that rat there. Are we getting a ped check? We're getting a ped check.
I mean, pedestal's not too much of a concern. We have to go get all 3 pennants anyway, but you might as well check.
Just a little piece of love.
So it is a hard piece there, and someone's saying in chat that only thing worthwhile in boots was boots and Kakariko. I honestly beg to differ because, keep in mind, we only have a total of 9 heart containers available. Finding that heart container in Kakariko was kind of a big deal, because you have just a little bit more health to work with, and you have no green mail, and you're only going to be running on green mail as well. So health is finding heart containers and heart pieces. The heart container and the heart pieces is a big deal in an expert, a lot more so than in the other modes.
Looks like Andy is going up to the bumper cave to get his master sword.
Yeah.
This is one of those changes, you know. We have the Dark World cave entrance there, and well, yeah. While we're in the Light World, we are in Bumper Cave.
Yeah, in case anyone's wondering how the other caves are connected, the normal exit and the emergency, the 2 caves on Death Mountain are basically another paradox. They're connected to each other, and the cave up here, Bumper Cave, that's where the fairy fountain went.
While we're going through that, Buane checked the Lumberjack ledge, and that is where Bombos Medallion is being found. So, Aga 1, well, even though we are in all dungeons, will have to be killed relatively soon to get that lovely, lovely Bombos Medallion.
And he has that information too. Here's the difference, though. Buane doesn't have a sword.
Buane's about to pick up a sword.
But yeah. Of course, folks, this is all dungeons. Both Aga versions are required. Ideally, you want to save Aga 1 for later, but it is actually a little bit fine to do that in inverted because you're put in front of the tower, and whatever, you'll have the Hyrule Castle as a Light World save and quit point at that point because we have the mirror and Aga defeated. And then from any point in the light world, we can save and quit and be on top of the top of Hyrule Castle where Ganon's Tower is.
When picking up another piece of heart, granting him another full heart container. To answer a question going on in chat, this is a rematch from the group stages where Buane and Andy were in the same group. Andy did take the victories there 2-1 over Buane. But since we're in brackets now, they start from 0.
Yeah, and as a reminder, folks, there is a 20-minute delay between these runners. They are racing well ahead of us, but we're going to be watching them as their stream goes on.
Andy going through the checks Buane made earlier through Kakariko, while Buane works backwards through the escape sequence to get to the Dark Cross in the escape. He's going to pick up his mushroom.
And answer your question, chat. Yes, the round of 16 is still best of 3. We will not be going to best of 5 until the semifinals of this tournament.
Andy about to pick up his boots and his full heart container here.
Yeah. And you can write off, normally you can write off heart containers, but in this mode you absolutely do not do that. Having
Even
a little
those
extra
pieces
health,
are harder helpful.
yeah. You're not going to be going out of your way to get them, but you are certainly going to turn your nose up at them, unless they're extremely out of the way. Like, for example, the heart container on Ped, or heart piece on Ped, we're probably not going to pick that up.
Boots were found in Kakariko Well by both our runners, and it looks like Andy's coming back for his revenge on Blind, while Buane gets to show us what is inside King's Tomb.
And Andy's also set to do a fake powder if he wants to.
Both our runners are.
Sadly, King's Tomb is only the 5 rupees, so not a very expensive game. Oh, and Andy's gonna use the sword beam strat.
Keeps him safe from getting a hug from Blind.
Yeah, just dodge the fireballs as they come in. And it only takes a hit, but after the sword beam fires, mushroom turned in, and that is blue pendant for Andy. Another 5 rupees, but one of our required dungeons down.
50 rupees in exchange for the mushroom from the witches. And Buane picks up a blue potion. That won't be the most helpful thing for him, since it will only heal 1 heart of damage and 25% of his magic beam.
Yeah. So not the most important thing to pick up, but it can still, but that extra 25% magic can still help. So that's still 2 shots with the fire or ice rod against Trinex in case you mess up.
Andy finding the piece of heart after bombing the wall in the chicken hut, and now our runners are tied for life for heart containers again, as Buane checks the catfish and Andy gets the sick kid.
5 rupees and a third sword has been found. So Buane doesn't need the one that was on the mountain that Andy picked up.
So the grumpy fish had the sword, and here we go for Zora Ledge and King Zora. 5 rupees on the ledge, not going to pick those up. Andy decided to pick up the Cane of Burna.
I suppose that makes sense, because I think because like we said, in rooms that have invincibility requirements, the cane works as normal.
A lot of mirror bonks from Andy here, trying to get to Jeremiah. For those of you just joining us, we are in the bracket stage of the fall tournament with an all dungeons inverted randomized sword expert mode duel between Buane and Andy. They were in the same group during the group stages, and both of them made it out of their group just fine. So this is a challenge for King of the Mountain. Buane going for Mini Moldorm Cave, which we know has some stuff in it.
Someone's asking if Burn is worth on his Laser Bridge. No, it's actually very useful on Laser Bridge. Any room that has an invincibility requirement check, like Spike Cave, like Laser Bridge, like the chest in Misery Mire that's surrounded by spikes, all of those will have the cane's normal functionality.
As well as the cape's normal magic consumption. Andy going for the fake powder glitch to use the cane. After you run out of magic, you use the cane of Samari and then quickly switch to the mushroom. Allows you to have a dash of powder out, and he gets 5 rupees from the magic back.
And someone in the chat is the difficulty reserved only working in canon. No, that's a change that was made as of starting in hard, but it persists over here in expert. If we were to play insane, which is not an option in the tournament, there are no silver arrows unless you're playing swordless. But even then, those silvers would work the same way. You can only use them in Ganon's room.
Thank you for the subscription to Speed Gaming, BSJ 72380. Thank you for that.
In here, at Dark Eyes, usually pretty convenient to check, but unfortunately, it's one of our joke hints today. It's green text and a link face tell you, or the indicators that it's there.
With the lettering also being green in case you missed that. And Andy getting Gary's lunchbox to go and unlock that, but we know that only has cash in it thanks to one of the hints that Buane picked up.
They both picked it up, I thought.
I thought they did too, but why would Andy pick it up, finding 20 rupees on the running game, on the maze game? Buane with his water walk is gonna go
Andy,
up to...
Andy, I think, was the first one to check the hint, so I think he just simply forgot.
Happens to the best of us. Buane doing a logic break to pick up 5 rupees and 10 arrows out of the Waterfall of Wishing.
Yeah. Not gonna go see Zora, though. Doesn't have enough rupees. The Hindi, on the other hand, has all the rupees in the world. Only 5 rupees on Halikaili Island.
As we go to check our homeless friend, the hobo.
And yeah, this is not a huge deal. Wait! Is Andy leaving the chest behind?
Looks like he did.
Andy,
showing off.
I think Andy was debating us here in chat. Which is... I will say this much, well played. He knew, he just picked it up for the lulz.
Sometimes you just gotta show off a little bit.
Either that or remember just before he turned it in. But I'm inclined to believe that he was messing with us.
20 rupees in Agina's closet. That's right, Andy made the play on the dam in South Shore already. Buane's making that play now as Andy... There's the change I was talking about with Checkerboard Cave here.
Yep, and it's only 5 rupees. And this is most likely going to be a desert into mire play for Andy.
That would be pretty safe routing. Andy does have a lead right now with the single pendant off of Blind.
Yeah, and in terms of a sort of go mode for the seed, we're missing the flippers, we're missing the bow, we're missing the bombos, but we know where that is, and we're missing both of the rods. Wait a minute.
Always bet on the bow.
Did Buane just moonwalk there?
Maybe?
That was weird.
Stranger things have happened in Randomizer.
I think he might have did a book dash.
Buane finding only disappointment in Agina's closet. Andy finding the big key for Desert here. Strange things happen in Randomizer. We've seen weirder. We'll see weirder, but that was up there.
Gamer count chat. Bombos is required to enter Turtle Rock. We did get the confirmation on that. And there are the silver arrows, actually. Just a free item there in Desert.
Now, Bombos is required to get into the front of Turtle Rock. Now, provided that the keys and anything you would need to work your way back from Laser Bridge is easily available, you know, you really don't necessarily need the Bombos for down here. However, it could be required if, like, fire rods on, say, Cold Stare.
Could be required, yeah.
That would just be vicious.
Yeah, Bombos can still be required because of Ice Palace, but it's not required for Turtle Rock because I forgot about the inverted backdooring logic again.
Yeah, there have been some matches where both runners forgot for about an hour that they could get into the Turtle Rock through Laser Bridge, and it was not pretty.
Yeah, in my first inverted seat, it took me like an hour and a half to realize, wait, I can backdoor Turtle Rock. I believe it was one of the beta ones, actually.
Andy making his way towards the... Land Mollusk. And I didn't catch the hint.
Some arrows are on a tablet.
So, of the two items, we do know that one is on the Land Mollusk as Andy enters the battle with them. Gonna go with bombs?
Yeah, just to soften them up.
Going with hammer strats, since it does the hammer does deal tempered sword damage, 3 points of damage. That's going to be the most efficient way, but it does have a very small hitbox, so it's a little trickier.
Yeah, the hammer has a small and delayed hitbox. There's our bug net and 100 rupees in the Meyer shed here, and I didn't actually check to see. Did Buane check the Meyer medallion?
He's going to now, and it is Ether.
So, if you guys want to see an early Agaseed, Fire Rod has to be inside Ice Palace. Which would force Bombos to be required to enter Ice Palace as a result. But even then, we can still have maybe something required in the early... For all we know, Fire Rod could just be in the first chest. And the key lodge doesn't allow you to get to the top 4 of Turtle Rock. And yes, both runners have the silver arrows, but they cannot use them until Ganon. Keep that in mind, folks. Silvers will always be disabled until the Ganon fight.
They will have to select the silver arrows with their Y button, just as you would to change over from the flute to the shovel, or the mushroom to the powder. Buane entering his Landmilla fight as Andy dips into Misery Mire.
Yeah, and he has defeated the Landmillas as well, I believe.
Andy did clear his Landmilla fight, claiming the crystal out of Desert Palace. He picked up 5 rupees as the item drop from that boss.
Yes, and, well, we have a little bit of time before the next item is tracked, and that's a good time to talk about our tracker. or who is relking this race, keeping those items up to date for you behind the scenes for you.
And he is doing a good job, folks, so show him a little bit of love with the follow there. While we're talking about giving follows, make sure if you're not already, make sure you're following Andy and Buane. They do put on great shows when they do their runs, and really they do deserve some little bit of love here for putting on this show for everybody. And what a show they're putting on as Andy finds the powder inside the spiked chest in Misery Mire.
Yeah, unfortunately the powder is not too useful. We've already checked Magic Bat on Andy's end. And unless we want to get hearts from the anti-fairies, that's all it's useful for. Small key here, big keys in the cutscene chest. I already know this. It's basically a key logic thing. Once you understand that usually it's small and big key on left side, you can usually predict that.
Andy hitting the cutscene room.
Yeah. Like, we saw a small key on left side, on Western Wing Swamp, or Western Wing here of Misery Mire. Big key is in its vanilla location. I think that's how it works because of the key logic. Could be wrong.
I'm not quite sure myself. I haven't quite gotten down all the key logic for all the dungeons just yet. Getting there.
Everybody's looking for something.
There's another joke hint inside Misery Mire for Andy.
Yeah, there it is.
Vanilla big key. The flippers inside Misery Mire with Buane checking the mesh floor chest, I'm going to call it.
I usually call this room the central hub, because it's basically where the majority of all the rooms are connected to.
Makes sense.
And with those flippers, we now have access to Swamp.
6 items in Swamp.
Oh boy, folks. I hope you guys are ready here, because Andy is heading towards Cold... Nope. Almost called them the wrong name. It's Vitreous.
No bow Vitreous fight. Master Sword, Green Mail. Ooh boy.
Master Sword, Green Mail, Triple Magic Drain on the Cape.
This is where execution's really going to come into play with these runners.
Yeah. If... I might be underselling this, but I think Misery... or, Vitreous here is harder than Ganon in Expert.
I would actually agree with that assessment completely, especially without the bow. Because, oof. Nice little cane dash from Andy there.
Yeah, I was trying to snipe the crystal switch, but unfortunately missed it. Dashing because there's actually some little bugs that come out of that hole. So the only place this happens is in Turtle Rock.
Andy does use his powder to get rid of one of those anti-fairies to fill up his health there. Buane bouncing out of Misery Mire.
Probably wants the bow to guarantee an easier kill on the big eye, which makes perfect sense to me. Andy is going for it, though.
Just charged right in there. Now, a common tactic you'll see is that the runner will intentionally take damage from the goo that is around Vitreous and his little buddies here, as it only deals 1 heart of damage, and then he's got those few frames of invincibility to slash at the eyes there.
Okay,
Andy doing a fantastic job.
Yeah. And I'm actually seeing what Buane's doing right now, and I actually can get behind this play. He is abandoning Misery Mire temporarily to try to find the bow here in Swamp, most likely. And then go back to Misery Mire with the bow in hand to have an easier Vitreous fight.
2 arrows to each of his little buddies and 8 arrows to Vitreous does proclaim victory over him. And Andy using the hammer.
Unfortunately, it's not that simple. It's 3 arrows per buddy, so
3 arrows
there's
per
no
buddy.
way you... And with there being about 10 of them, there's no way you can use just arrows to defeat Vitreous. Unless you bought some capacity upgrades.
Which we don't have in expert mode. I know a common tactic also is to throw bombs out at the little eyes to soften them up a little bit, so...
Yeah.
Andy claiming his crystal out of Misery Mire, giving him his 3 crystals there. Oh, 2 crystals and a pendant.
And Buane, even though he's only over the swamp, it's just a quick jump back over to the desert area to go back to Misery Mire. And yeah, Andy getting his fight done. Very nicely done.
Looks like Andy might be heading for Swamp as well.
And yes, so as a reminder, even though they both have silver arrows, you're like, oh, it's just 1 arrow to kill the eyes. No. Can't use the arrows unless you're in Ganon's room.
And that was true in hard mode, it's true in expert mode. Buane not going for left side Swamp.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's usually a safe gamble, a common skip.
It's not that really, it's basically like this. He has not found the map or the compass yet, so for all he knows, they're on the left side of Swamp. So he's basically hoping that they're there, but if it's not, he'll probably go back in.
Duplicate hint, bottle being above the pose inside Swamp Palace. Both our runners have that knowledge, and both our runners already have that bottle. So, journal entries. 70 rupees in the drowned chests combined.
And map was in the big chest, so there is one. Oh, and the compass is there. Huh. Yeah, this must be a double dip then. He's probably gonna go back in after the fact.
I do know Argus has an item, so we're gonna see what the what this guy's holding.
Yes, an insane 3 hearts are all you're getting. You're not getting any health upgrades whatsoever, or defense upgrades. And no silver arrows at all. Insane is not fun.
4 times the use of the cape. What else has changed from expert to insane?
If you use the powder on anti-fairies, you get bees instead. That's all I can remember.
I know the item drop is still 25%. Buane making quick work of our guys.
Actually, in Insane, there is a no item drop rate at all.
Oh, it is a 0. Dang. I need to have that chart up before I talk about the differences between the...
Yeah, I don't have it up.
Buane taking out Argus, getting 5 rupees for his trouble. I'm seeing a theme here, claiming his crystal out of Swamp Palace.
Yeah, that is a 5/6 crystal, but the other one is... Actually, no, 5/6 is available. Ah, that's what Buane was doing. He was going for the super bomb.
He's going to go back in and get that left side swamp checks done. Not the bees!
So, someone is asking in chat, what is harder, Insane or OKO? How about Insane OKO? Because that might as well be a thing.
Only 3 hearts. Majority of stuff in the Dark World can really take you out way too fast. Even making a slight slip up in the Light World, especially around the Ice Rod Cave with those nasty, nasty crabs, that can take you out too.
Well, OKO is literally 1 hit and you're dead.
Yeah, I was just talking about basic insane.
If both runners agree, someone is asking if both runners agree to insane difficulty, would it be allowed? Probably not. Or
insane is off limits for this part of the tournament.
Yeah. Insane is off the table for any... I think Insane's off the table for the entire tournament. Nothing good in left side.
Andy decided to check left side before taking out Argus.
Alright. So, Swamp is a we know this now.
I'm telling you, I think Bo is in Ice Palace.
Well, right now, the only way to get into Ice Palace is with the Bombos Medallion, so we'd have to go up and do Aga. And if we're going up to do Aga, I'd rather go and do Hero while I'm at it. But more likely, the play is to go to Eastern, I feel. Because combined with some Hospital, there's a total of 6 items, and if we count the items in Palace of Darkness, there's another 5, if it's not immediately bow-locked.
Which, with that that potion that... I know Buane picked up a potion, I don't remember if Andy did or not. They can potion glitch through that. And not have to get the bow just to get to that one spot. And per what you said, yes, Buane did pick up the super bomb. We're gonna see what the fat fairy was hiding from us.
And yeah, I would dip EP for Hera because, well, simply put, item density. More items in Eastern than it is in Hera. Also, there's the mountain climb to consider.
There are only 2 items in Hera.
Whereas
Andy
there are
Argus here.
Whereas there's a total of 6 items, 3 in Eastern and 3 in Sahasrah's closet. And then maybe 5 as well in Palace of Darkness. Mirror Fairy contains a red potion and a green potion!
Well, there's 3 bottles for our runners completed.
And now with a red potion to, and a green potion to set up the, camera glitch in Pod, I'd go there. I'd absolutely go there and full clear as much as I can without the bow. Who knows?
Getting
Maybe
his uncle and escape checks out of the way, it looks like.
And yeah, who knows? Maybe the Fire Rod is over in that area and they can go to Ice Palace and get the bow out of there.
Andy claiming quick victory over Argus, claiming his crystal out of there. Now he's got 3 crystals.
And yeah, that's actually something we haven't even been thinking about. We've had access to Turtle Rock. Bow could just be on Laser Bridge, and we can just quickly just jump back now over there and get it.
That would be deeply amusing.
Andy, meanwhile, is going to do his flipper checks now. I don't think we saw the hobo because
Buane did. Buane used a water walk glitch to get to the hobo, and we found 20 rupees.
Alright, I was wondering that if he disarmed it somehow or rearmed it. Oh, it doesn't really matter.
To chat, we have seen the bat and we have seen the witch. The bat had 5 rupees, the witches had 50.
Yeah, so one check we haven't seen yet actually is Zora himself. Buane was up. I thought Buane was up there, but I don't think he paid for the item. I think it was too low on rupees.
He came up there a second time to get the Waterfall of Wishing with the Water Walk glitch. I don't remember what was on King Zora. Zora gave a bloopy. He gave $5 for the chat.
Alright.
Big snake.
I can't really tell.
Thank you, chat, keeping us honest. Andy gonna pick up his 20 rupees from the catfish since he already has the Master Sword.
Yeah. In Swordless, they turn into green piles of 20 rupees, but in Inverted, they change into a red rupee. Or, no, when you capture sword level, they turn into red.
Yes. So if you see a green rupee with the 20 sitting next to it somewhere, that was a sword. Buane in Sashalara's closet.
Yep, this is the play I would have made.
Rupees, the flute, and the bow!
Let's go!
To Eastern Palace!
Let's go to Eastern, let's go to Pod, let's clear this seed. We still need the fire and ice rods, of course, but...
We'll find those along the way.
Oh, yeah. Heck, they could be on Laser Bridge for all I know. They could just be right there waiting for us to use them on Trinex. They could just give us the whole Laser Bridge care package right there on the Laser Bridge. Fire Rod, Ice Rod, Small Key, Big Key.
Andy running his way back to the witches to turn in his mushroom, since he has the powder now. He's going to be disappointed only picking up 50 rupees from them.
First chest in Eastern Palace is only the map.
Vanilla map.
No, that's not the vanilla map.
It's not vanilla? I could have sworn the map was always down there.
That chest has the 100 rupee stash.
Ah, yeah, you're right. I need to play back through NMG so I can remember where all the vanilla is.
I mean, I played the entire game and even opened all the chests. This is where the map normally is, and it's only 5 rupees here today.
Yeah. Andy, back on Dark Death Mountain.
Andy is going to fight Aga 1.
Another one of those changes here in Inverted is that what is normally Ganon's Tower is now the Castle Tower, and the Castle Tower is now Ganon's Tower. So, fun times for everyone.
And as a reminder, folks, Aga 1 is required, not just for Bombos, but for the goal of this seed. And the hint there in Eastern was just junk in the junk tower.
Another piece of heart for Buane out of the big chest. Andy gonna only find keys here in the Castle Tower.
And yes, so it is, like I said, it's all dungeons here, so Andy does have to do Aga 1. And with this, he will be able to get the Bombos Medallion from the Lumberjack Ledge.
Which that'll open up Ice Palace to him. He may be thinking that's where the bow is. Now I can understand that logic. I can understand that way of thinking. Saving Sashalara, Eastern, and Palace of Darkness until you have the bow. Armor held by someone friendly. Sorry, that's only going to be rupees this time.
Yeah, we might have already seen the armor for all we know and never picked it up.
I think we've checked everyone friendly. Except Sashalara. Andy having none of those guards garbage.
Alright, so now it's time for Andy to fight Aga 1. Chat, let's play a little mini game here. How many blue shots do you think we're going to get from Aga 1 as we fight the Armos Knights here on Buane? This should be a fairly quick and easy setup. Yep, perfectly executed Armos Knights fight. That's going to go down.
The Ice Rod!
Alright! Ladies and gentlemen, we are a fire rod away from go mode.
seeing a lot of big numbers here.
Keep in mind, it's only a maximum of 15 unless Andy outright misses.
That was 1.
I'm gonna say it's only gonna be 4.
That was 2.
So here's the thing. It's a very likely scenario now that Andy's actually on the right play. It could be Fire Rod in Ice Palace, which means you need the Bombos medallion to get in.
There's another blue ball.
And here comes another orange reflectable shot. There it goes. I actually was predicting that one, I guess.
This is the second round of brackets, chat.
Yeah, so a reminder of how the Aga fight works. He always does a reflectable shot in the first pattern of his cycle. And we have a small key in Dark Palace, so we can move on.
Buane has the bow, so...
And
Andy claims victory over Aga.
And where's he gonna go now? That's right. He's heading right. Is this the hostile play?
It is. He's gonna make the play on the Fat Fairy.
Yeah, which will get him his potions.
Thank you, Marith, for the sub to Speed Gaming.
Yeah, I was just about to say it. Thank you for your support. Something sharp is up with the grumpy fish. Hey, that was catfish!
That was catfish. Grumpy fish refers to King Zora and the catfish.
Yeah, which is honestly the one hint I have issues with. I think grumpy fish should just be catfish. Because we have another hint, sleep with the fish is with the fishes. That also relates to catfish and Zora, specifically. It's weird. We have a shovel in Palace of Darkness.
Oh dear. Andy not gonna go for Sashalara. He's up on Death Mountain again. Is he going for Hera?
Maybe. You didn't go get the Bombos medallion.
No, he didn't. So it looks like he's going... Well, he's going Turtle Rock or he's going Tower of Hera, so...
Probably both.
Not a bad play to make, as Buane gets ready to face off against the Helmasaur King.
Well, to him it's not a bad play, but we know the Ice Rod's on the Armos Knights. So he can't clear Trinex on this pass.
No, he's going for Hera, yeah.
Hera first, probably going to get some hints there in terms of information.
He's going for the Ether Tablet.
Yeah, he's going to check Ether as well as Spectral Rock. Now we know Bombos had arrows, so what's here on Ether Tablet? Oh, it's also arrows.
No, I have yet to see a unique item drop from the tablets. Buane taking a shot to the face from that tail, but finishing off King Helmasaur with relative ease.
And it's just a heart piece there. That does give him a heart container, and ladies and gentlemen, unique items in plain sight. Oh, what was that one?
What was it in plain sight?
A unique item. Oh, Canaburna.
Canaburna was in the library, yes, that is plain sight. Coffee break from Andy, as Buane goes back into Palace of Darkness to check the Dark Maze and the items.
It was... Yeah, it could also refer to bombos as well. Basically, any item that you can physically see that is considered a unique item, like bombos or Burna, that hint applies to it. So it's hard to figure out which one is which unless we like do something like dive into the data or something. But we're not gonna be doing that on stream, of course. Not while the race is going on, anyway.
Vanilla Big Key in the Tower of Hera for Andy. Buane finding the map in the Dark Ruby Room, Palace of Darkness.
Along with 10 arrows.
Using that nice reflection to take out the beetle and hit that switch in one shot, saving himself some time there.
As a reminder, everyone in chat, we are just missing the fire rod for go mode. We know where Bombos is if we need it. And here, coming up for Andy. And nothing good comes out of Hera, looks like.
He found both items. I saw the piece of heart out of the big chest.
And Buane is starting on F Mountain here. With the ice rod in hand. Probably gonna go to do Aga. Or can take a risk and say Fire Rod's in Turtle Rock, which wouldn't be too surprising given the backdooring you can do. The only items that are Fire Rod locked in Turtle Rock are the 2 chests on the top floor.
Andy making quick work of Moldorm with the hammer strats. Yeah, he did find both items out of Tower of Hera, so claiming his crystal from Moldorm.
Buane is going to mirror to Light World. This looks like it's a Turtle Rock play, given his movement.
He very well could be. 50 rupees there on the floating island. There's a ferry to help him out.
And
Buane is, yeah, Turtle Rock.
Well, Furnace in Turtle Rock, actually. Bombs in the first chest of Laser Bridge. A small key in the second chest of Laser Bridge. The map in the third. So no big key, most likely. Compass. The answer lies further in. But we can pretty much backdoor this entire dungeon from this position. With the exception of the top floor.
As long as our runners are smart with their key usage, absolutely. So coming from the back, I don't think they have a choice but to be smart.
I don't think they can use. I don't think they need to use their keys at all. Up until the top floor.
Yeah, until Lava Island. Laser Island. I'm all over the place tonight, folks.
Zelmus, Bombos can be required if the Fire Rod is currently in Ice Palace. We don't know where it is yet.
It was not required to gain access to Turtle Rock, but it is required if the Fire Rod is locked in Ice Palace, since they will need a way to get through the freezers. Andy taking the bunny beam.
Yeah, without a fire rod, this Hokuboku is going to be annoying to kill. Gets it done, though.
Buane bounced out of Turtle Rock and is going to check the Mimic Cave.
Vanilla Big Key in Turtle Rock. I wonder what that means.
Only 20 rupees.
I don't know what the inverted logic for keys there is here. Bleh. I don't know how key logic works in the inverted version of Turtle Rock just yet.
getting some hassle from the chain chomp.
Didn't get bit by him at least. Those things deal like... Those things I think would actually have one-shot Andy.
Well, with the green mail, I think you're right.
Alright, this is the last check that Andy can do. If the fire rod is here, Andy's in big trouble. Because Buane will be in go mode.
Nope, just 20 rupees.
And given what we know about the seed, and where we have all checked, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's safe to say that Fire Rod is in Ice Palace. We've checked everywhere else.
We did not check the big chest inside Turtle Rock.
True. But we also haven't checked, and we haven't checked the big chest in Thieves Town. We didn't have the hammer that early.
So there are still 2 locations that I can think of it could be. Because I'm pretty sure we've done all the overworld as well.
Yeah. Odds are, though, it's in Ice Palace because it's still 3 items over the single locations that they have left.
As a great man once said, never tell me the odds.
And someone is actually correcting in the chat, the Thieves Town big chest was a compass. That was left.
Chat also pointing out that we very well could have the fire rod in the Haunted Grove.
Yeah, behind the shovel. That is also a possibility.
And
Lots
he got
of-
the big chest. And
Lots
Buane's
of
about to get it
one-offs.
too, just a small key.
And yeah, that was expected because we only have 1 small key.
Well, this is an inverted seed. Normally we like to play the game, where the heck is the ice rod? Now we get to play, where the heck is the fire rod?
Kind of a role reversal there, isn't it? The seed
Well, it
really
is
is
inverted.
Yeah, it's kind of, the seed really is inverted.
Buane looks like he's going to weigh his up and take out Moldorm in Tower of Hera.
Yep, and as a reminder, folks, we have had a pedestal check and it's only a heart piece there, so Fire Rod is not there.
Fire Rod couldn't be there anyway because Skull Woods is the green pendant. It would be out of logic.
Yeah, which also means it's not on Sahasrahla himself. So, there's a few one-off spots in the overworld right now, but more likely it's at Ice Palace. And I think Andy's going to be riding over to get that Bombas medallion.
He did check
go over
King's
there.
Tomb real quick, so... Yep,
Yeah.
that's where he's going.
Might even make a detour to check Eastern and Pod, which will get him his bow by checking Sahasrahla's back closet. So, slowly but surely, Andy is piecing together the seed here.
There's the Bombos for Andy. Both these runners are extremely good at the logic and figuring out where they need to go next. You just got to make your decision on what's open and where can I go, where it's most likely to have what I want. And that's what it comes down to when you deal with players of this caliber.
Yeah.
We've checked the Fat Fairy, and that had 2 potions in it, a red and a green. Buane knows that the Bombos medallion is on Lumberjack. He was the first to check it real quick, and Andy was about 2 seconds behind him checking that.
Andy's going to ice.
Andy's going to ice.
Even if the fire rod's not here, Andy will get information about it. Will most likely get information about it, because there are 3 hints here in ice. Unfortunately, one of them is a joke.
Dog Dota hates a certain sound.
Dig Dogger, yeah.
Not a thing in this one.
Nope, that's Zelda 1. Boss at level 5 and a mid-boss that shows up, and then demoted to a mid-boss for the later dungeons.
And the Dongos and their smoke, because the bombs exploded into smoke, and they would stop moving. Made it very easy to get those bombs in front of them. Fast work of the Pen Gators using the hook shot.
First chest open in Ice Palace is only the compass.
We get to see Pugs on ice while Buane makes his way up to take out Moldorm.
So, as a reminder, Chad, the only other places that the pyro can be besides Ice Palace is a few one-off locations. We haven't checked Spike Cave. We haven't checked the shovel spot in the Haunted Grove. And some bombs in the Lost Woods. We already knew that.
Buane also using his hammer to take out Moldorm.
Yeah, 3 hits and you don't get the enraged sped up phase. And Andy's signature right there, pretty much.
The hover. I was wondering when we were going to see it. In terms of who has the lead right now, it's really hard to say. Andy does have the advantage on dungeons completed by 1, but Buane does have the bow and the ice rod as he goes to take out Aga 1.
So basically the best way to describe it is there's no true go mode until no true winner. Bleh. No true leader until go mode.
Right now, it's just way too close to call for either of us.
Yeah. Buane is also making the play of the Aga, so this will be unlocking Ice Palace for him.
Some cash and some cash is in the western wing of Swamp Palace, with 3 hints in Ice Palace, not pointing Andy to the bow or the fire rod.
And I don't think Buane checked the western wing of Swamp, so that is actually going to be 2 less spots that he has to check.
Both of them did.
No.
Buane had to duck back in. Andy took it as he went. So we know, we're relatively certain that the fire rod has got to be in here. I mean, it could be in Spike Cave, which would be kind of a kick in the pants, but... And there it is! The fire rod for Andy!
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in no mode, and Buane is well on his way to Ice Palace. The Bombos Medallion was, in fact, required.
So Buane's going to have to go to Lumberjack, pick up his Bombos, then he can go drop into Ice Palace, pick up his fire rod, be go mode.
That's right. Andy needs to head to the Eastern Palace area right now. Once he gets his bow, that's it. He's in go mode as well. He just doesn't know it yet. And the reason why he's being go mode, folks, is because the Armos Knights have the ice rod.
What a race so far. I mean, this has been fabulous.
I mean, I don't want to bring it up, but we are dealing with the spring champion here in Andy. I kind of knew what I was getting into when I signed up.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I signed up for this one too, because both of these runners are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I would dare say they're at the top of the field in terms of high-level randomizer runners.
Their group was also very, very stacked. They had a lot of really good runners in that group, and these two discs happened to come out on top of that dog pile. Buane having to deal with those blue balls from Aghanim now. And there's our 4th bottle. That one filled with blue potion.
So with the exception of the red boomerang, we found everything in the seed.
Yep.
Red boomerang's most likely in Ganon's Tower at this point, or Firelocked in Turtle Rock. I like Buane's playing catch with himself there.
I've seen him do that a few times when he's fighting Aga 1. It's pretty entertaining to see. I can't speak. Have him do the boomerang dash during Aga 1. And decided to wait for the bunny beam to do its work.
Yeah, there seems to be a question about what is go mode in chat. Go mode is a term we use in the randomizer, which basically means we have everything, we found everything we need to finish the game. In this case, Andy still needs the bow, Buane still needs the fire rod.
Andy still needs his ice rod, because we do have to kill off Trinux. Buane
That's
taking
true.
out Aga 1, no problems there. Now, Andy does have the fire rod, and it would take his full stash of magic to bust Cold Stare out of his shell using 8 shots of the fire rod. He decides to use a little bit more time using the Bombos medallion and save his magic for using fire rod shots on Cold Stare, taking out 2 of those puffs like they're not even there. Ooh,
They're one down too. And yeah, I'm 100% behind using Bombos on Cold Stare. It does take a lot more time, but it's so magic efficient. And the fire only takes 3 or 4 shots on each puff to kill it. If you can get them all grouped up, you can get multiple hits in. It just speeds the fight up a lot more to have some extra ammunition for the fire rod.
Absolutely clean fight, expertly executed there. Buane picking up his rupees from the sick kid. Where will our runners go now? Andy's running out of options.
And Buane is not going to get the Bombos medallion.
He's doing his 2 checks here that remain in Kakariko, and then he's probably going to head north and do it. Andy headed for Skull Woods.
This makes sense to me. He probably thinks his boat is in the back.
Same concept as why he hasn't gone to that area yet either. He doesn't have the bow. He can't guarantee he'll not have to double dip Pod and Eastern Palace until he has that in hand, but we know it's right there.
We know where everything is in the seat except, like I said, that red boomerang.
Chat's calling for people to activate their flute. We're not going to see that. It takes too much time and has absolutely no real serious help to them other than saving time from jumping around the world.
Yeah, it's not going to... Flute is not required in inverted seats, unfortunately. It might as well just be a dead item. Although it does have a little bit of a function still in the randomizer, even outside of it. It does absolutely nothing, though. You can... In the vanilla game, the flute kid has his last request to hear the flute one last time. And even in a randomizer, you can still honor that last request. If you wanted to. Takes up time, but if you're doing it for one, why not?
Buane picking up his Bombos as Andy faces off against Mothula. He's got to kind of watch it. Oh, nope, he's good. Mothula does not take damage when those spikes are under it.
Yeah. Otherwise, he only takes 4 hits from Tempered Sword. He's actually really frail, but those spikes actually remove some extra some of the damage he takes.
I'm being forced to eat my words as Buane activates the flute.
Yeah, he needs it to help him get around the Dark World at this point. And now Andy will turn in the green pendant, most likely, and be rewarded. Not with the item on Sahasrahla, but with the item behind. Huh, getting the big key, though.
Andy going to check the items here in Skull Woods while Buane goes to claim vengeance against Blind for the early defeats that he was handed. Andy already having claimed that vengeance.
Actually, I have a little bit of a fun fact regarding the last rites here. I actually tried it during a festive race earlier this week. You can't actually do it in the festive mode, which is interesting. Probably because they changed the flute melody.
Oh, the last request? Yeah. It was that in Halloween Seed as well when they changed the flute song. At least I think they did. There's the red boomerang! We have every unique item.
Well, actually, no we don't.
What are we missing?
I don't think we picked up the single arrow, because as a troll that it does count as a unique item.
That's true. That's my favorite thing to find, too. So we need Andy to go to the east to go to Sasha Lara's closet, which is probably where he's headed now. We need Buane to go to the Ice Palace.
Yep, this is Eastern Palace for Andy. This is going to be Gomo for him.
Buane's going to check to see what's under the shovel. Lovely shovel dash there, showing off a little bit.
And that was a red ruse, so that could have been a shield or... No, it couldn't have been a shield, so it was either another our four sword or one of our mails or armor. Same thing with Sahasra there. Could have been our armor. And ladies and gentlemen, Andy is now in go mode.
Well, not yet. He still needs to clear the the Armos to get his ice.
Yeah, he's guaranteed to run into his ice rod though. So he'll clear Eastern first, and then being actual go mode. But we know the ice rod is something he will not miss.
Here's Buane inside Ice Palace, gonna get his fire rod.
Yep, and Chad is just
going crazy.
Yeah, Chad is going crazy at me for calling Goman a little too early there. I mean, like I said, it might as well be considering that it's on the ice rod's on one of these two bosses here. Is on the ice armor, or the armors here, so it won't be. So he might as well be in go mode. He just doesn't know it yet.
Chad always keeps the commentators honest.
Always does.
Well, somebody's got to keep us in line.
I suppose so.
Andy doing his checks here in Eastern. We've already seen everything here through Buane. Buane in Ice. We've seen everything here through Andy. Yeah, Andy won't go mode Eastern. He'll go mode Pod. He won't go mode Eastern. And since I'm using go mode a little differently now, that's when we are in go mode, we have all the items we require, so the runners won't check every chest anymore. They'll go for the small keys, once they have the small keys they need and the big key if it's required for that dungeon, they'll just bolt right back to the boss. They don't need anything else. Buane gonna do the bomb jump.
Yeah, this is how you normally get across this gap.
Since no, Buane is not able to hover. That's an Andy trick in this matchup. There's other racers who can run her, and it's always funny to watch people do it.
And just to talk about hovering a little bit here, hovering is allowed as a minor glitch, but it is a very high execution level for that trick. It is frame perfect inputs for the dash and a frame perfect release. And you have to alternate those frame perfect inputs and do them repeatedly in order to hover. So even though it gives Andy a huge advantage in that regard, it is still a very... That just goes to how much execution he has. That he's able to do that consistently.
It's 1 or 2 frames where you have to activate the boots, because while the boots are being active, Link is considered to be on the ground by the game's code. So if you can continuously, for those 1 or 2 frames, make sure that the boots, the dust is up, you're good. There are runners who I've seen hover 2 trinecks just to show off, because it's funny. Andy's the one who's most well known for his ability to hover. Buane's about to hit his go mode with Fire Rod here.
Oh, he already has it.
Oh, he already got it. Buane is go mode. Go, guys, go.
And Andy's not too far behind. The difference here, though, look at the dungeons
to do plus Ganon's Tower. Buane has 3 dungeons to do plus Ganon's Tower.
4.
4.
He hasn't done ice.
You're right.
He hasn't finished ice yet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Go for
There's
Andy.
the ice rod for Andy.
All right, so he says the mirror to go to Pod, then to Turtle Rock, and then he's going up to Ganon's Tower, which is actually located where Aga 1 normally is in other states.
So to get Aga 2, we've got to go back to Hyrule Castle. Getting bonked by the door there. Buane also deciding to use the Bombos Medallion to free Cold Stare. Trying to push Cold Stare into his corner and...
Oh no!
Taking a death!
That's a very costly death too. That's at least 3 minutes.
You can almost hear the discontent.
That just took what looked like to be a somewhat close race if Buane catches up to one where Andy is now definitively ahead. As long as Andy doesn't make any major mistakes, this is his race to lose.
Absolutely.
But thankfully, folks, as a reminder, this is, of course, game 1 between them of a best of 3. So Buane still has a shot to come back here and upset the spring champion.
And this settings were Andy's decision end, where we see more hovering. And these were Andy's settings to choose. So the next match will be Buane's choice to make.
Yes, and if it goes to a game 3, it will be decided by a third-party bot. They will have a veto each, just like in the group stages.
They'll be able to veto one mode they do not want to deal with, such as Expert, Swordless, Inverted, etc.
Most likely Retro will be chosen.
And after that, it's up to the bot.
And he will not be picking up the shovel. Rip. But he does have a full menu in terms of item collection, so I'll allow it. Him to skip that.
Seems fair.
And Silent Martyr, thank you for subscribing with Twitch Prime.
Speed Gaming does appreciate your support.
Someone is asking in chat, do they play again after this? Not
today.
Not today, but tomorrow. Tomorrow they're scheduled to play, and that one is actually going to be toned down significantly. They're going back to the spring match with their settings here. It's going to be Ganon, Standard, Uncle Assured, Normal, and None. And that match tomorrow will be at 9:30. We do not have any restream plans for it at this time, so stay tuned to the Speed Gaming, to the Link's Best Randomizer tournament schedule. Alright, it's time for Andy to fight the Helmasaur King. And Buane is back to fighting Cold Stare. Round 2 for him.
He's got to be careful. He's only got those 2 hearts. Gets taken out by the falling ice.
Oh no. That's again another time loss there. And ladies and gentlemen, Andy has 1 dungeon left, and it's going to be pretty quick. Just go to Laser Bridge and go straight to Trinex.
We did pick up that small key. So he will be able to go straight there, passing the mini Helmasaur.
And yeah, Andy's lead just increased by roughly another 2 or 3 minutes.
And that's rough, because Buane does still have to not only get to Cold Stare and beat him, he's got to go back and fight Vitreous as well.
Vitreous, Moth, and go back to fight Trinex as well. He has to go all over the place. Thankfully, he does have the flute enabled, which will speed up the process a bit, but not by much.
Not enough to catch up at this point, unless Andy does make a critical error.
So, folks, we are quickly approaching Crystal 7 here, and with that, we will quickly be entering Ganon's Tower. Not much time left. So I'd like to take this moment here to explain a game we like to play. Hold your guesses for the moment, folks. We have, of course, 22 chests in Ganon's Tower. When we get the game started here, give us a guess in chat to where you think the big chest will be. We're going to start it when we see Trinex fall, but you're going to have to get your guesses in lightning fast. We're probably only going to have 15 seconds to get your guesses in here when we get the game going.
Now, hold on, guys. I see some of you jumping the gun. We have to wait until Trinex has been down to start this game. Now, there is a leaderboard. There's a leaderboard on our guessers, and you have to have donated 250 bits or be a subscriber to any of the Speed Gaming network of channels to get on that leaderboard. So think about your guesses right now, 1 through 22, while we watch Andy take out Trinex.
And yeah, like I said, folks, you have about maybe 15 seconds, if that, to get your guesses in, because all Andy has to do is mirror and then save and quit, and he's at Ganon's Tower.
Professor Renderer, thank you for the subscription with Twitch Prime.
And Alvin, thank you for giving us 250 bits and sending that to charity, using hashtag charity.
Billy the Kid in the Time Capsule, also thank you for your 250 bits for Speed Gaming. A reminder, guys, if you are going to give bits, do use the hashtag charity so that Twitch will also donate 20 cents for every 100 bits you donate to a worthy cause. You can see Twitch is up to $402,857 already raised.
And ladies and gentlemen, the game is open. Get your guesses in.
Go, go, go!
We're stopping the game as soon as we see Andy go downstairs in Ganon's Tower. Scantor, where do you think our big key's going to be?
My lucky guess is always 13, and Buane taking another death to Cold Stare. Oh.
You said 13? I'm going to say it's early. I'm going to say it's 2. It's going to be a fast one. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how fast it was. Hope you guys got your guesses in. And ladies and gentlemen, the guesses are now closed.
That's 1, 10 arrows. 2 is the big key, number 2!
Whoa! Hey, I got it right. How about that? That's a rarity.
Bob lives the compass on his torch.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it is guest 2. So let's go ahead. I, of course, am not a sub-supporter here, so the actual winner of the game is Frozen Photon. GG's to you, sir. Let's go ahead and get your results saved. Saved to the leaderboards.
Enjoy your place on the leaderboard.
And as soon as I guess 2, but I'm not a sub or supporter. I am just the lowly commentator to the randomizer. Oh, Andy did the despawn. Nicely done there.
I have never seen anyone pull that off. That was impressive. Buane bailed out of Ice Palace.
Yeah, without any magic left, he's
a little out of it. He's got to go to the witches.
I don't blame him for being out of it.
No, oof. Just oof.
Yeah.
All those deaths to Cold Stare, that's a little disheartening.
Yeah, he was practicing earlier. I don't think Coolster was one of the things he was practicing.
I don't think it was either. I think he was working on Trinex and Ganon. He's filling up all his bottles with green goo, filling up his magic meter.
Alright. Nimble is 2 here for Andy.
Using the Fire Rod strats, 2 shots of the Fire Rod will kill the landmines.
Yep.
Making an excellent time saver here, since we don't have the silvers, which do kill them in 1 shot.
Ice Rod also kills them in 2 shots.
Ice Rod is also slightly slower by a few frames to the Fire Rod.
If you wanted to go with, like, dev intended strats, Sarhasa does tell you about where to find the Ice Rod. So it's implied that the Ice Rod is meant to be used to kill the Land Molded. If you were to interpret it that way.
That bow in hand, Vitreous won't cause quite so much of a problem to him. Thank you, Songleaves, for clipping that Mimic Room despawn by Andy.
Alright, Andy. Gonna get the bomb here, below the wall. He's on the last floor.
Will he hover away from Moldorm 2?
Probably. I mean, this is Andy we're talking about here. Let's be real.
It is a big time save. Let's see what he does. Yep. And hover pug.
Gets it done. Quick and clean. And you notice he had no brakes, no hesitation there. He just walked right into it with confidence.
There's a reason that hovering is Andy's signature move.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised at all he decided to hover that. And now we get to play Geometry Wars with Aghanim the Wizard.
Yep. Thanks, you fight.
Nice double.
Nice double to start things off. This is another double.
Blue ball.
Oh, and missing the orange shot. And they're all lined up. This is a guaranteed triple if he needed it, but no, he doesn't.
He
and
got that
2 is
single.
down. Agate 2 is down. All the other bosses are down that we require. So now it is time for Andy to fight the pig. Master Sword in hand. It will be 12 spin attacks per phase. Slashes do nothing to Ganon. To advance him to out of the Trident phase and the Fire Shield phase. After which will be phase 3, in which he will stomp the ground after being hit. He will teleport randomly around the room. We gotta catch him. If you do not catch him in time, he shoots a spiraling fire bed around the room. And then...
That's just trouble.
Yes. Once he gets hit 4 times and the entire surrounding floor breaks away from the wall, then begins the darkness technique. Ganon will have to be spun attack into before or he teleports away. 24 times if you were doing silver arrows. But if you hit him at any other point, he will be stunned, and you can shoot him with a silver arrow, which are allowed out in expert difficulty. But you have to keep the lights on.
We'll
also,
probably see a
torch
glitch here from Andy on that one.
Yeah. You'll see a torch glitch regardless. Just makes it easier. Now, the fire bats in phases 3 and 4 are a little on the wonky side. They don't actually have knockback. Instead, they read your inputs and move you in the opposite direction.
Yeah, if it's leaving a trail of flames, it'll knock you the other way, which is a huge pain in the butt. Now, for those who may not know, that torch glitch is... Oh! Careful, Andy!
Andy's gonna play it super safe now.
Surprised he's not using the cape there. There's there's a couple of glitches here that would be helpful. First off is the torch glitch, which we will most likely see, and I mentioned before. That's when Ganon drops his the fourth section of the floor away. Didn't get it in time. The torches that you see will go out.
Yeah.
Now, if you can hit the first torch with light from the lamp or the fireball before the second torch goes out, the second torch will never go out. So, torch glitch.
Yeah. And someone has asked a couple of questions that are asked in chat. Andy is on the highest upgrades he can have in terms of his gear. And in terms of the Master Sword being a glitch, I believe it is, because they intend you to have Tempered Sword, obviously. Oh no!
One hit away, one silver arrow away from taking out Ganon, and Andy takes a fire bat to the face.
Yeah, and unfortunately it was so close, there was no way Andy could avoid the damage. Back to the start of the fight he goes.
Now, the other glitch I was going to talk about while we see Andy go through Phase 1 again would be the cape, glitch using the cape. Yes, in Expert Mode, the cape does consume significantly more damage, or significantly more magic, triple the magic. However, if you were to go invisible by activating the cape and then grab onto a wall, the magic usage of the cape is reduced to 0. Which is a handy trick, especially if you're doing Tile Room in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, it's not that helpful here, unfortunately. And Silverless strategy is also considered a glitch, because you're not supposed to actually damage Ganon outside of using silver arrows. But there is a frame or two of invulnerability that you can use to hit Ganon at that point in time. And that's the reason why silver arrows still show in the item pool, even in Insane Swordless, because that 2-frame window is very hard to hit with a hammer.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of, you'll see it happen sometimes that if a runner gets to Ganon in a swordless seed and has not found the silver arrows, they will drop down and get Ganon to the point where he asks if he found the arrows, and then leave and go get them. Because hitting that 1-2 frame thing with that hammer is oof. And here's the torch glitch that we mentioned before.
Yep, beautiful torch glitch there, getting it with the fire rod. And ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs in chat for Andy.
Nice double on that last strike there. And Andy will complete this seed in first place.
That's right, folks. I have the official time here for you. Here, let me go ahead and read it out. Andy has now officially crossed the finish line in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 11 seconds. GG's to him.
Fantastic performance from Andy here. And we'll see if we can get him in here for an interview while we wait for Buane to finish off his seed. And he just took down Trinex. He does need to kill Cold Stare. Claim his vengeance for the 3 deaths that he took earlier. Oof.
Alright, we'll see about getting Andy in here for an interview. Wayne's gonna keep going. Wayne's gonna go back and finish off his nemesis in the sea Cold Stare.
Now, Buane will be able to go mode this whole dungeon here since he has cleared out everything, has everything he needs. He just needs to kill those puffballs and claim vengeance for all the pain he went through earlier. And this really showed off how absolutely brutal expert mode really is, with, you know, no armor and so few hearts. It's just, you've got to have absolutely spot on your execution with bosses, especially something like Cold Stare with the falling ice shards that split into 4 and having to deal with those 3 puffs. Oof.
Alright, Buane is heading down to Cold Stare now.
Deciding not to use the Cane of Samaria, conserving his magic a little bit there. He's got full magic now. He'll have some shots at the Fire Rod. Full health, though, so that's a good thing. Using the Bombos Medallion to free Cold Stare. Looks like he's going to go with the Hammer over the Fire Rod.
And we are now joined by Andy. GG's user. Great victory here today.
Yo, thanks.
Absolutely brutal seed there with the expert mode, but these were your decisions to make for what you have here.
Yeah, I don't know. I've done a lot of, you know, dumb Link to the Past challenge runs and randos that I usually feel that expert is a pretty solid advantage in my favor.
And it looks like, yep. Ladies and gentlemen, Buane has forfeited from the race.
That's a shame.
Got the better. Cold Stare got the better of him.
Well, Cold Stare got the better of him, but we'll see about getting him here as well. Meantime, Andy, why did you choose expert? You said it was because you have a lot of experience would be in your favor here.
Yeah, you know, I've dealt with a lot of, you know, doing dumb challenge runs like low percent one-hit KO, and you know, I used to have, back before difficulties were a thing, I used to have some people make me plandos with no extra hearts, just because it was fun for me, in quotations. So it definitely plays more to my skill set than most others. But I knew that Buane is a really good Link to the Past player, and either way, it'd be pretty rough. Sometimes deaths to Cold Stare happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, it happened 3 times in a row, which pretty much sealed his fate in this race. But then again, sorry.
No, go on.
It's expert. These things are more than likely to happen.
Yeah, especially in inverted, because you get put in a lot of early Dark World situations with like 3 hearts, 4 hearts, and it can definitely lead to some sloppy play from anybody, including me.
Yeah, unfortunately, Blind did not appreciate your attempts at Samaria, and that first one just decided to say nope. I'm not sure if it was you or Buane actually that got hit by the laser.
That was Buane.
That was Buane.
Yeah, I died to a fireball.
So Andy, what did you think of that bow location?
It was It was definitely available really early on, but I think it ended up working in my favor.
So Chad is actually reminding us here. There was one thing that I actually wanted to ask you about. Did you forget about the hint for the purple chest as you?
Oh yeah. I
So
was thinking about what I was gonna do as I was clearing out like all of the light world stuff, and I'm like, all right, I'll get purple chest, I'll go check race game, and then I'll do all the light world stuff, go to desert, and then check mire. And like I was looking at my little notepad where I was like keeping track of anything I still needed, and then I saw the hint that I wrote down, and I'm like, oh god. And so I just I saw it like right as I got onto the screen, and I just dashed and left it right there.
I'm not gonna lie, for a while there I thought you were just debating us in chat. You were just bringing the chest around for the heck of it.
Yeah, I had a nice laugh at myself with that one.
And we are now joined by Buane. GG's, good effort.
Hey,
Cold
everybody.
Stare, man.
Yeah,
Cold
GG.
Stare.
GG, Andy.
Yeah, GG's Buane.
It was real close up until your cold stare fights there, Buane.
That's probably the worst part about it is, based on Andy's finish, it would have been a really good race that I ruined. So,
Yeah.
you know, if it had, it would have hurt if I would have won by a minute, or it would have hurt if, it wouldn't have hurt too much if Andy was 20 minutes ahead. But I guess it kind of would have been close there and threw it away. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, by my estimation, you were about 2 minutes behind Andy before that first cold stare death happened. He just found his bow. He was just found his ice at the time.
I had not had a clean seed up until there, so you never know how these expert seeds are going to go. You don't know who's going to die going up Death Mountain. You don't know who's going to die to blind. So even though it hadn't been super clean up until Ice Palace, I didn't feel bad. I didn't even feel really that bad after the first cold stare death, but yeah, beyond that, you can't throw away that much time playing any of the top 32 players here, any of the top 16 players, much less somebody who's going to be super solid every time out like Andy.
Yeah. You guys were pretty even through most of the match. Just one of you would go left, the other one would go right, and then you just switch locations throughout most of this entire seed. It was actually really fun to watch that until Ice Palace got you, and then it was just oof.
It was a scary seed with all the items we had early, because you're saying, all right, this is inverted. I've got access to almost the entire world. I need 2 items. Where are they going to be? So it didn't end up being too bad. Bow was pretty accessible, and after the longer you went on, Fire Rod's location kind of became pretty obvious too. So I didn't think the seed was that rough. We got some hearts up front. Swords were really early. Just typically when you're playing something like this, the goal is just don't die and you'll probably win. And that was probably true again today.
Yeah. Ganon's Tower was not a factor though. Big E was in Hope Room, just so you're aware, Buane.
Okay, so easy.
Yeah, especially with expert, anyone can die to Ganon, as you saw. Master Sword, potentially Silverless Ganon is no joke.
Yeah. Vitreous is, I would argue Vitreous is even harder than Ganon in an expert.
I'd agree to that.
Yeah, it can be a little scary. It's a lot easier to play Vidi safe than it is to play Ganon safe, I think. But that's just me.
To your credit, Buane, you did give us kind of a cool moment when you checked Bombo's talent and just suddenly moonwalked off of the cliff.
I don't know when that started happening. I feel like one of the rando versions introduced that. I don't know what causes it. Maybe it's a vanilla glitch and I'm just not that aware. But yeah, sometimes you read the Bombo's tablet and Link tries to return to his home planet, and other times he just stands still. But I was going that way anyway, so it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's been happening for like I want to say like a year now.
Yeah.
I don't exactly remember which update it started happening, but yeah, so you just gotta be a little careful sometimes.
Yeah. So your next game tomorrow is tomorrow at 9:30. It's gonna be standard Uncle Assured normal Ganon dip goal.
Basically
So-
the opposite of tonight.
You're basically going back to like version 28 here with standard.
That's what I've been picking. Pretty much the last. My first few picks in the group stages were not this, but playing so many. I don't want to say weird, but unique modes in this tournament. I like to get my fair share of, just regular standard, regular open. So I'm just throwing these in there to, make sure we've got some regular, bread and butter rando available for everybody. And Andy and I raced this in the group stages, and it didn't turn out super great for me. So second time's going to be a charm.
I would hope so. You're fighting to stay alive at this point.
Well, I lost game 1 in my first round against Elminster. And 1-2 in a row. So, anybody, and anybody in the top 32, anybody in the top 16 can take games off of anybody else. So, if I can win 1, we get, whatever the bot wants to throw at us for game 3. And if not, then I get to sit on the sidelines and watch some good rando instead.
Now,
Yeah.
Chad is asking a couple of questions here, one for each of you. We're going to go with Buane since that question was asked first. Buane, you decided to leave bosses for a little bit while Andy was full clearing dungeons. What was your logic there?
I was scared of Vitreous, and I knew that the bow couldn't be in there since we'd found both items. So I was hoping that I would just be able to pop over to Swamp Palace with those flippers, and then bow would be in there, and I'd come back and kill Vitreous with the bow. A double dip of Mire doesn't cost that much time. It would have been nicer if I had the flute at the time, but I found the flute anyway later. So that wasn't too bad. It stunk having to go all the way back to the End of Thieves to kill Blind, but I was kind of waiting for Master Sword to make the refight easier, and obviously Skull Woods. I couldn't kill Trinex while I was up there the first time with no Fire Rod, and we left Cold Stare for quite some time, despite my best efforts. It just kind of rolled out that way. I mean, I guess I could have been a little more aggressive with the Vitreous play, but I don't think I would have saved that much time, especially since I found the flute anyway later. I just bow felt like it had to be pretty soon, and I was just going to come back with the bow and finish off Vitreous. The other ones just kind of, that's how the seed played out. I had a lot of bosses left over to run back to, but even bosses like Trinex sitting there by himself in inverted mode, it's real quick to get back to a lot of those guys. It's quicker to get back to Mothula in inverted. You can just run up there in the light world. So a lot of those bosses weren't really that far out of the way. But it was weird looking up at, I don't know, an hour and 10 minutes and seeing I've got 2 dungeons completed.
I bet. Andy, your despawn of the mimics in Ganon's tower. Chat's asking for some comments on that.
It's a it's a cute little trick to show off. I don't know. It probably doesn't save me time the way I do it, especially when I poke my sword against the spike like 4 times. But yeah, it's just, I mean, it also without silvers and only Master Sword, I don't know how many arrows I'm going to be using in Gauntlet, if any. So it's nice to just save those couple arrows, since I need some for Ganon anyways.
This seems pretty good.
Alright.
So we had an inverted seed, and our go mode item, our hard to find item, was the Fire Rod, as a complete inversion of our normal where the heck is the Ice Rod. What'd you guys think of that?
It's always the Fire Rod for me. I don't understand it, but I've just come to accept it.
Yeah, I've had a couple pretty bad go mode Fire Rod situations in the last couple months. I think most notably being game 1 against Ben in the summer tournament. We had Go Mode, Fire Rod, and Mimic Cave. That was a good one. Yeah, Fire Rod can definitely be a fickle beast in inverted mode for sure.
Well, GG to you both. I have no requests for you, so any final thoughts on the save before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening?
No, just thanks for the commentary. Thanks for everybody who watched. GG to Andy, and we'll be right back at it tomorrow night and hoping for a different result.
Yes. In the meantime, though, wait, I forgot to get Andy. Sorry.
Hopefully I'm not too wrecked after the SMZ3 seed I'm doing beforehand. It'll be nice to do that and then have a nice chill standard regular seed.
See, everybody likes dot casual.
Oh yeah.
Well, like I said, GG to you both. If you guys want a little bit more randomizer action going on right now, started like 15 minutes ago. On Speed Gaming 4, we have Kyong92 versus Rywek. It is all dungeon open, randomized expert key sanity.
Ooh, spicy.
And if you're interested in what's going to be next here on Speed Gaming 3, we actually will have a Zelda 1, Metro 1 randomizer at 11 o'clock. And of course, stay tuned to the Speed Gaming schedule to see other races we have for you today. But more importantly, make sure to follow Andy here, our winner of this race, as well as Buane, who put on a good effort, who had a good showing here today. As well as make sure to follow my co-commentators, Scantor86, our tracker Relkin, and of course, Speed Gaming 2 through 6. If you're more comfortable with French, Spanish, or German commentary, we also have restreams on Speed Gaming here in those with commentary in those languages. Speed Gaming Espanol, Speed Gaming Francés, Speed Gaming Dutch, respectively. Also, if you want more randomizer action, make sure to follow Link's Fast Randomizers 1 through 5 as well. But from all of us here at Link to Fast Randomizer, I have been WolfLink0370, and we shall see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.